A warm welcome to this week's last edition of Primetime News. I'm Selima Shimwefeleni Masipa. We commence this evening's bulletin in the Erongo region, where President Dr. Hage Geingob, in a speech read on his behalf on Thursday, commended the relationship between the government and trade unions, saying they are revolutionary partners whose collaboration is always in the interest of nationhood.
Comrade workers, it pleases me to know that although we have faced daunting challenges and will face more in future, we are galvanized by our unity as progressive social partners. Government and the unions, the Namibia Public Workers Union and the Namibia National Teachers Union are not only social partners, but revolutionary partners who always worked together in a spirit of harmony in the interest of nationhood. Comrade delegates, nowhere else has this relationship been proven than during the recently concluded negotiations of salary increments and the improvement of public servants under a challenging economic situation. There was a lot at stake, and the ramifications of a strike would have gone far beyond what many could have imagined. Fortunately, sacrifices were made, not in the interest of individuals, but in the collective interest of our Namibian house. I have often said that it is difficult to build, but easy to destroy. The consequences of a strike by public servants in the midst of tough economic conditions could have taken this country to the brink of economic disaster. However, the strike was averted, and now we can resume working in unison towards steering our country to calmer waters.
Meanwhile, President Dr. Hage Geingob on Thursday said the African youth should embrace the fourth industrial revolution as part of the continent's economic transformation. Shalva Wells compiled this insert.
Geingob said this during a virtual conference of the Youth Connect Africa Summit held in Kigali, Rwanda, under the theme Accelerating Investments in Youth, Resilient Africa. First held in Kigali in 2017, the summit has grown into a formidable event for Africa's young people. Geingob noted thanks to improved access to the internet and mobile telephony, young Africans are more integrated and connected than at any point in the continent's history, adding that digital channels and social media have increased the number of actors and the rise of second-trade diplomacy. The president stated that Namibia is well into its demographic window of opportunity, which opened in the early 90s, saying that the Namibian government is in the process of implementing a cross-cutting national youth policy, which includes youth development programs in order to capitalize on the demographic dividend. For Nampa TV, Linnea Dishana.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Peter Kachavivi, on Wednesday contributed to the debates of the Interparliamentary Union underway in Kigali, Rwanda.
More than 1,000 parliamentarians from different countries are gathered there for a week-long annual conference. The Interparliamentary Union's 145th annual conference, which started on Tuesday in Kigali, is attended by more than 60 speakers of the national assemblies of different countries around the world under the theme Gender Equality and Gender-Sensitive Parliaments as Drivers of Change for a More Resilient and Peaceful World. Kachavivi, who is the head of the Namibian delegation to the Inter-Parliamentary Union, said in his contribution to the debates on gender equality that the theme is fundamentally linked to sustainable development, which is vital for the realization of human rights in all spheres, and which would promote a society where women and men would enjoy equal opportunities. Kachavivi stated that the representation of women into positions of Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and Chairperson of the Parliamentary Standing Committees, amongst others, should increase at the national assemblies of the Intra-Parliamentary Union member states. He said Namibia has so far achieved about 47% of women representation in its National Assembly.
On to law and crime. A 21-year-old man was arrested on Wednesday for allegedly killing his 57-year-old biological mother with a pounding stick. Sawi Hausiku brings us this insert.
The Namibian Police Force Crime Investigations Coordinator for the Kavango East region, Bonifacius Kanyetu, told Nampa on Thursday that the incident happened at Diyonga village in the Mukwe constituency. Kanyetu said the suspect, who was alone with his mother, also set her on fire as well as her clothes that she was wearing along with a blanket in an attempt to destroy evidence. He allegedly also tried to dig a hole to bury her, but the sand was too hard to dig and so he fled the scene instead. The scene was discovered by a member of the community on Thursday morning who wanted to pay a visit to the deceased. The community member then alerted the police. The body of the deceased was taken to Andara State Mortuary for a post-mortem. Police investigation into the matter continues. For Nampa TV, Linia Dishana.
When we return, MTC launches Innovation Center at NUST. Welcome to Primetime Biz, where we break down everything business and economics. We commence the segment in the capital, where mobile telecommunications giant MTC on Thursday inaugurated its innovation center at the Namibia University of Science and Technology's High-Tech Transfer Plaza Select.
Furthermore, we believe that the enabling ICT policies in place can only be meaningfully leveraged on if we as players, regardless of industry, adopt a culture of smart collaboration. Innovation exercises are costly and very risky. Not all ideas become commercially viable solutions. Therefore, in our complementary effort to the state, partnerships with like-minded institutions are important in absorbing the risk, but also in reaping the rewards. Hence our invaluable cooperation agreement with the University of Science and Technology, which is leading the research projects to aid the development of Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and many more groundbreaking technological solutions. I now invite our private sector to join and make use of the Innovation Center to undertake product development activities and support local economic growth and regeneration.
World Bank President David Malpass on Thursday said the global economy is dangerously close to a recession as inflation remains elevated, interest rates rise, and growing debt burden hits the developing world. Here's more on this story.
Malpass said at a press conference during the IMF and World Bank annual meetings that they lowered their 2023 growth forecast from 3% to 1.9% for the global growth that is dangerously close to a world recession. He noted, highlighting the buildup of debt for developing countries, adding that all of the problems that people have taken note of, the inflation problem, the interest rate rises, and the cutoff of capital flow to developing world, hit the poor hard. Malpass said world recessions could happen under certain circumstances. In a study published in mid-September, the World Bank warned that as central banks across the world simultaneously hike interest rates in response to inflation, the world might be edging toward a global recession in 2023, with a growth forecast of only 0.5%. For Nampa TV, Linnea Dishana.
That's all the top news we had for you this evening. Stay tuned for the business and economics roundup, followed by the weather forecast. Welcome to Sport Planet. We commence with boxing. Former world heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder hopes to get back to winning ways with a knockout when he takes on former sparring partner Robert Helenius on Saturday after a year-long absence from the ring. The 36-year-old Wilder faces Finland's Helenius at Barclays Center in Brooklyn in his first fight since being knocked out by WBC champion Tyson Fury last year. On to football. Liverpool's clashes with Manchester City have become the Premier League's modern classic in the era of Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, but Sunday's clash at Anfield could already spell the end of the Reds' title aspirations. Both clubs have shared the supremacy of English football over the past 5 years, with City twice edging thrilling title races over Liverpool by a single point in 2018-2019 and last season. But a run of 2 wins from the opening 8 Premier League games has left Liverpool 14 points behind leaders Arsenal and 13 adrift of City. Stand by for your sports roundup. With the sports news, we've come to the end of tonight's newscast. Many thanks for watching. Do make a date with us next week for Monday's edition of Primetime News. From myself, Selima Shumwe Feleni Masipa, and the entire production crew behind the scenes, it's good night.